Welcome back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert here with Hillary, Parkinson Voice Project, talking all things about our relationship, which is growing, and I appreciate that. The Parkinson Voice Project, what we learned at the All In, and really this idea now, both rebranding and as it leads to storytelling with Parkinson's. What is your individual story? Where do you fit in the Parkinson's community? Where, who are you in this stage? So you were telling me a little bit about, was it someone who's comes into the clinic and their story about Parkinson's?
Yes. So
Reset that
he
for
was,
me.
yeah, he was the one who first told me about you and what y'all were doing at Yes and he had gone through your narrative storytelling
We call it cinema
workshop.
therapy. Yeah, right.
Say it
Yeah.
again.
Cinema therapy, because
Oh,
it,
okay,
it
great.
focuses
Yes.
on the movie, right? And then,
Got you.
oh, go
Yes.
ahead. Yeah.
And yeah, and that the workshop, over weeks of writing his story about Parkinson's. And what I thought was so important is that the message was the world, the media tells us what it's
Mm.
like to have Parkinson's. And when people write their own stories, they're telling the world in the opposite way. No, this is what it is. I want you to understand me and my story. And I think it helps folks be able to analyze it and then see it, capture it, and then project it so that it's an important part of them telling what it is for them because we know everyone's different truly, but that was a really helpful process for him on taking a little control, I think.
Yeah. I love that from the aspect, like you say, because from the moment of, we used to call the program day one because of the diagnosis, right? That's a
Right.
disruptive thing. And,
Yes.
for a few people, it's actually peaceful because they're like, oh, I finally know at least. But for the
Sure.
broad majority, it's an, oh my God. And either they hide it or they freak out, and totally understandable. Whatever the
Right,
reaction is,
right.
understandable. But,
Yes.
as we said, now we get more into a broad perspective of your story. And by the way, the old line, right? You met one person with Parkinson's, you met one person. So this is where the clinical side, why this program grew up the way it did in the PhD program, that too many times, in my opinion, and what I kept hearing from people with Parkinson's was they get told, whether it's by the media or by well-meaning medical professionals, this is what it is. Well, we've got this paper called The Shaking Palsy that's 200 years old by Dr. James Parkinson's.
Yes.
And I had a doctor recently, a very well-trained Johns Hopkins doctor, who was the guy who got me into my PhD program, came up to me and admitted, said, Robert, we have been operating on old information for 200 years. And he was right on board saying, we need to rebrand this. We need to, because we keep thinking it's only a motor disorder. And so how do we change that? Well, like you said, we not only listen to, and I think there are plenty of people with Parkinson's that want to learn, but we help train those people with Parkinson's what their story is. They are
Mm,
not just Parkinson's. That's only part of their journey.
mm.
When you learn to tell a whole journey, now we can say, oh, wait a minute, that's how Parkinson's interacts or how it affects your whole person, whether you are, somebody who was, say, working in here, the casinos, or somebody who was an athlete, or somebody who was, a mom, or, whatever your identity was, how did it affect you? Because that's research. If we listen to enough of these stories, we can better understand what Parkinson's is and therefore develop better treatments and better systems to support the people living with it. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, yes,
Yeah, and it's turning it on its ear a little bit to make storytelling research, right, as opposed to top down. And you
yes,
guys do that already. You're already having people raise their voices. Well, let's have them raise them for a reason, right? We want them to be
yes,
heard to tell their story. I think that's where
yes.
we fit together.
Yes, I love that. You're exactly right.
Yeah. I can't thank you enough for spending time here today, and really, it's a celebration to me of the holidays to get together with friends and build relationships further. I know we couldn't share a meal together, but this felt like a meal of conversation. I
I
really
love that.
appreciate your time,
Thank you
Hillary.
so much. I appreciate the work we that you have done and I hopefully the work that we'll both keep doing to help these folks.
Absolutely. And Merry Christmas to you. We'll talk again soon in the new year, okay?
Thank you so much, Robert. You as well.
All right. This has been the
Bye.
Daily Dose. See
Okay.
you soon.